Welcome to Around Kitsap. Joining me today is Kirk Larson. Kirk has been on our program in the past, and he is the Western Washington Public Affairs Specialist with the Social Security Administration. Very busy job. Kirk, tell us what the main focus of your job is for Social Security.
Certainly. And thank you very much for having me on the show again. Really like coming out here and providing information. And,
a lot of us are getting towards the Social Security focus.
We know it. We know it. A lot of people coming out to visit us and file for benefits. And that's part of what my role is being able to get out in the community and provide people an educational opportunity to understand what Social Security is all about. So what I do with much of my time is go out to various venues, businesses, organizations, and talk to them about Social Security benefits. So if your viewers have somebody and they have an event where they'd like to have Social Security come out, they can actually go right on our website and request a Social Security speaker. And we're happy to come out, and as long as you can get a group of about 25 people together, we'll come out and give them an educational opportunity to understand all the different aspects of the Social Security program.
And there's really quite a bit to understand. So those of us that are in our young 50s, as we look towards retirement, it's good to go on the website. It's helpful and really start planning, really start planning. First of all, Kirk, you want to talk a little bit about the office hour changes, and is that the office here in Kitsap?
Actually, it's all of our Social Security offices. They're going through an hour, a time period when they see the public adjustment. And you kind of hit the nail right on the head. You mentioned going online to get information. Actually, that's somewhat what's kind of driving this. More and more people are going online, and so more and more of what we do in our offices are actually coming from the internet.
Great.
And also with the budget crunch, because of some funding issues, we are shrinking the hours that we see the public. Currently, right now, for our offices are going to be open from 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And on Wednesdays, they'll be open from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock.
Oh,
so it is a big change.
Yes. Okay. And has that already started, or is that?
That has.
It has already started.
Yeah, the new hours as effective as of January 2nd. So we have shrunk the hours. And we've been advertising that for some time, both on our website and at the offices to communicate that to people. So that is here.
But there's still a population of folks that don't have the ability to get on the internet, don't quite understand it technically, so the face-to-face is really important to folks.
It is, but actually, believe it or not, that group is shrinking.
Sure it is.
Today, I'll give you an interesting number, and actually, here in the Northwest, more people use our online services than any place else in the nation. We lead the nation for using online services.
Yeah, that's great.
Currently, about 55% of all new applicants, people filing for benefits, whether it be retirement benefits or spouses benefits, they do that right online. They don't call us, they don't come into an office, they file for benefits right online. And about 45% of all people filing for Social Security disability benefits file for it right online.
Right online.
Yeah. So more and more is coming in that way. But you're right, because there are certain people that are not comfortable with it, or because of the digital divide, some people don't have internet access at home. We encourage people to, of course, go to libraries or community centers where you can get access. But if you can't do that, we still have our offices available, and we have our 800 number. And the 800 number is really nice because it's open from, you can call between 7 in the morning and 7 at night.
Awesome.
So it has some really good hours to be able to get through and get services.
And sometimes folks need that help, just a voice to walk through a few things or answer a question.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So those of us that have been working, you do receive an annual statement from Social Security. And those are going to be changing. So tell us about that. Everything's changing in this digital world.
Exactly. And probably you and probably everybody out there has gotten a Social Security statement before in the past. Unfortunately or fortunately, it depends on your view of it, we are discontinuing the use of that form. We are no longer going to be sending that out. And one of the major reasons that we did that is because it cost us about $60 million a year to print and distribute that form to everybody that was working in the country. So it was a very expensive option for us. But it was worth it. It was worth it to get that information out to help people understand what their benefits were going to be. However, what we're now doing is we're moving to something called My Social Security. And that is a special account that you can establish online to help you understand what your benefits might be. And if you're in that case, if you're an individual that has not started receiving Social Security benefits, when you go in and create this account, you'll now be able to get your Social Security statement right online. And you can see your work history, how much money you made year by year. You can go ahead and see your future benefits, what you would get at retirement, or if you became disabled, what you could get, or if you passed away, what your survivors could get, your minor children or your spouse could get. All that information will be available right there.
But you have to have My Social Security. You have to create that.
That is correct. And there are some extra steps that you need to go through to create this account. And we do take very seriously the protection of your personal information.
Good.
So to create this account, you will have to go through a special procedure. And it will ask you a series of questions, just not your name, Social Security number, and date of birth. It'll ask you a series of questions which you have to answer correctly to be able to gain access. And I'll give you an example of one of the questions. When I first went online to file for it, the first question it asked me is, how many bedrooms do you have in your house? 3, 4, or 5 bedrooms? It was using government records, county tax records, identifying my land parcel, identifying my house, and then identifying based on for tax purposes how many bedrooms I had in my house.
Wow.
And I had to answer that question right.
Wow.
So it uses the government records, the information that's out there, to verify who you are so that whoever is getting access to this account, we make sure that they are the proper person.
Wow, that's really Big Brother stuff.
Yeah, well, and that information's out there. The computers know an awful lot about us, but in this case, we are using it to protect the individual, so we're sure that their information is safe.
Let's take a break at this point. We've got lots more information to share on Social Security Administration, and Kirk Larson's here to share, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
Patty, let me be honest with you. Won't filing for Social Security benefits online be confusing?
George, it's simple and easy, and you can do it in your pajamas from the comfort of your own home.
Oh, my.
You've navigated through asteroid belts, right?
Oh, sure, plenty of times.
Well, compared to that, navigating socialsecurity.gov is a snap.
Really?
It's so easy. Even Kirk could do it.
So Kirk, we're back, and we saw a great PSA in there, which we're going to talk a little bit more about later. But we're talking about, the subject is My Social Security. Should those folks that already have benefits create an account?
Oh, very good question. The answer is yes, absolutely. Now, you know, if you're not on benefits yet, you can see what your future benefits are going to be. However, if you are getting benefits, still getting the account is very important. And the reason why is that after you establish this account, you can go in there and you can review your payment history. You can see all the checks that you've gotten, but also you'll be able to do some really neat things. You'll be able to change your address online. You'll be able to change your phone number online. You'll be able to change your direct deposit if you need to send it to another account. If you need to get a replacement Medicare card, you can do so right online. And a really neat feature that we just added, if you need a benefit verification, if you need proof of what your income is, for like if you were renting an apartment, mortgage adjustment, or whatever, you needed something to prove what your Social Security income is, now you can get that right online. You used to have to go into an office and you could get it right then, or you could call us and we could mail it to you, but that would take time. Now you can go ahead and get that whenever you want. Or if you need a replacement 1099 for tax purposes, you'll be able to print that right up also, right online. So a whole host of activities.
Very good. Great service. So speaking of cost savings, and I bet our next topic is just about that, saving money for Social Security. We are not going to see checks in the mail coming up very soon. We're encouraging folks to do direct deposit. Let's get into that topic.
Well, for the last couple of years, if you're a new applicant, if you filed within the last 2 years for benefits, it was required that you have direct deposit. Or getting something called Direct Express, which was basically a debit card created by the Treasury Department. And the Treasury Department is the group that issues all of our checks. So if you don't want to get a bank account, you can get this Direct Express, which basically allows you to use it as a debit card. And we actually have agreements with a number of different banks that they'll charge no fee or very little fee for you to use their ATMs and get the money out.
Oh, that's awesome. So that money goes right onto that debit card then,
yes.
your Social Security benefits.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
great. So
Now,
my husband, who is collecting Social Security, he does have the direct deposit, and you, as you just said, that's been going on for a couple years.
Yes.
It is required.
Yes. Now, though, for the people that have gotten payments before the last couple of years, if they selected a paper check, starting March 1st of 2013, we are going to go ahead and discontinue the use of paper checks. So at that time, we are going to be requesting everybody change over to getting either direct deposit or Direct Express. Now, there is a waiver process. If there was some reason why you could go ahead and put forward why you could not get a bank account and why you could not use the new Direct Express card, there is a waiver process that you can go through and say, I would like to get a waiver, I would still like to receive a paper check. And the number of people we're talking about is relatively small. About 96% of people here in the state of Washington already get direct deposit, and they love it. You know, not many people want to have that check come to their post box. So, but you know, there's 1.1 million people in the state of Washington getting Social Security benefits. So even 4% of that, you know, you're looking at about 55, 60,000 people still getting a paper check. So we want to reach those people and let them know that, you know, this change is coming. The sooner you can make the adjustments, the better.
So the folks that are receiving those paper checks, you've probably sending things in the mail to them still, so they absolutely get that information.
But just like every piece of mail, you know, when you get the little thing that you want out of it, the check, anything that's extra, we tend to just throw away. So,
Right, that's
so
absolutely.
If you know somebody, or if your viewers know somebody that's currently getting a paper check, now is the time to help them change over to direct deposit or over to Direct Express. And to find out more information about that, you can go right to our website.
Very helpful, very, very helpful, Kirk. So there's also some other services from Social Security online that you want to update us. Tell us about those.
Well, number one is on our website. When you go there, wealth of information you can get there about all of our different programs: retirement, survivors, disability benefits, and Medicare coverage, all of our various programs. Information right there. So if you're thinking about filing for benefits and you want to do a little research, that's the place to go ahead and start. Also, right on the front of our website, we have a frequently asked questions section. So you can go there and you can really cut down the information you want to find. You might put in retirement and continuing to work, and it will narrow it down and show you all the information that if you're filing for retirement benefits, what effect will it have if you keep on working. Also, our website, we have a mirror website that's all in Spanish. So if you don't speak English or you'd prefer to have the information in Spanish, you can go right there. We also have something called the Language Gateway, which there we have most of our publications, Social Security publications, most of those are in 15 different languages.
Very helpful.
So if you want to get that, you can either download it as a PDF file to your desktop, or if you're at a library, you can go ahead and print it out, and you can have the information in up to 15 different languages.
Wow, very good. How many people work for the Social Security Administration that have your like job?
Not many. For instance, here in the state of Washington, there's 2 of us. One here in Western Washington, then there's someone in Eastern Washington. Oregon, we have 1 person.
For the state?
For the state. California, I believe, maybe has 6 people. So it's not huge. And up in Alaska, we have 1 person that does the job part-time. So I cover, for example, from the Canadian border down to Centralia and then out to the ocean. So it is difficult to get out.
Big territory, yeah. And benefit is our local television channels that are absolutely want to share this information from the national level and get the word out to folks. Let's talk about tips for filing for retirement. At what age? Because currently our retirement age is, national retirement age is?
Age 66 to get 100% of your benefits. However, that's for people born between 1943 and 1954. So for people born 1943 to 1954, to get 100% of your benefits, you would have to wait till age 66 to file.
Right.
And you could file as early as age 62, but you will take a large cut. And that's actually what I want to talk about. What effect does it have if you file for benefits early or if you wait until your full retirement age? And we'll be showing a chart here in just a moment that kind of gives an example of that, and we'll talk about that example.
Good.
But the retirement age already is on the rise. For people born after 1954, it begins to slowly step up in a 2-month increment. So someone born in 1955, it's age 66 and 2 months.
Okay.
And someone born in 1956, it's age 66 and 4 months. Then when we hit age born in 1960 and beyond, it stops at age 67. So someone born in 1960 or after, it's age 67 in order to get 100% of your benefits.
And is Congress looking at changing that to 70? Did I hear that in the news somewhere last week?
Not exactly. They are looking at changing the Social Security age. And the good news is for people born before 1960, there's been no talk about changing that. But it is likely, it is very likely that for people born after 1960, the retirement age could increase further. Hasn't been passed. It's just been talked about in Congress. There hasn't been a vote. But as they look towards different ways that they may preserve the Social Security Trust Fund and preserve future payments, that might be one of the options that will be considered.
Many Americans are living a longer life. I'm sure that is really taking a lot out of the Social Security Trust Fund. Many people living into their 80s, 90s, and collecting benefits a lot longer.
Exactly.
So that has. So what other tips can you tell us about in filing?
Well, with filing, and I'll give you that example, that chart that we should be looking at. With that, if you waited, in this example, if you were age 66 and you could get, and we're going to use a dollar amount, $1,000 a month. We could have used $2,000 a month, but we'll just use $1,000. In that example, if that person filed for their benefits early, they could file as early as age 62, 4 years early. The good news is you get 48 extra checks. That's good. The bad news is that if you go from age 66 down to age 62, you take a 25% cut in your benefits for the rest of your life.
That's big.
Yes.
25% is huge.
Huge. And here's the key. A lot of people think it has something to do with your birthday or waiting past your birthday to file. We actually adjust people's checks month to month. Meaning, for every single month you file early, whether your benefits are 100% at age 65 or age 66 or age 67, for every single month you file early, you take roughly a 0.5% cut in your benefits. So if you could get 100% at age 66, and you filed at age 65 in 10 months, 2 months early, 2 times 0.5%, you would take a lifetime 1% cut in your benefits. If you filed 12 months early, you'd take about a 6% cut in your benefits. Huge over your lifetime, and you hit a very good point. We as a people are living much longer than we used to. The average life expectancy today for someone reaching the age of 62, if you live to that age, you can expect, on average, probably live till about age 82 or age 83. And for a woman, this is even a larger time period. Average life expectancy today for a 62-year-old woman is about 85 or 86 years old. So we are living much longer than we used to. And here's a very important fact. If you file for your benefits early, whether it's age 62 or 63 or 64 or 65, versus waiting till age 66, on average, you're ahead for the first 14 years that you start your benefits. So if you had two choices to make, if you said I could take my benefits at age 62 or age 66, and you said I'm going to take them at age 62, basically you'd be ahead for the first 14 years that you drew benefits. Because you're getting a lot of extra money up front. You're getting 48 extra checks. However, those cuts that you took, they will eventually catch up to you. So if you arrive at age 62 and you peer into your crystal ball and you say, I will absolutely be dead by the time I am 76 years old, then it's a very good idea to file for your benefits at age 62. But if you arrive at age 62 and you have average health, not great health, just average health, and maybe you have people in your family that live into their 80s and 90s,
Right.
it could be a very bad idea to file at 62, and it could end up costing you thousands or tens of thousands of dollars over your lifetime if you file early. So you need to very carefully consider when to activate those checks.
Right.
Yeah.
So those of us that are in their young 50s and really, you know, trying to think about when can I retire, it is very good information to go on my Social Security and really look at what you can expect to get at age 62.
Yes.
And if you wait till age 66.
66?
An excellent tool.
And another important fact, and not a lot of people take into consideration, we actually give you bonus credits if you wait beyond your full retirement age. So if you could have gotten 100% at age 66 and you waited one more year, you know, you were working or maybe you were living on some other type of income, you know, you just decided to wait. Between age 66 and age 67, by waiting one more year, you get a guaranteed 8% increase to your money for the rest of your life. And I always tell everybody, where else are you going to get a guaranteed 8% on your money for the rest of your life today? Not a lot of safe places you can do that, but Social Security will give you that guaranteed 8% by just waiting.
Absolutely. So it's always very good information to know what your benefits are with Social Security, where to find them, and how to help yourself figure out what the best time for you to access your money and enjoy your retirement to the fullest. Wow, very good information. Could you see my wheels turning?
What am
I'm like, oh man, I got to really start thinking about this and really start doing my Social Security and start making my plan.
And really, that's what we encourage people to do, and that's one of the groups that I really try to get out and talk to are people that are probably between 40 and 65 years old. People that, just like you're talking about, they have some opportunities and some decisions they need to make. And the earlier you make those decisions, the earlier you make your plans, the better. You know, just like trying to get a reservation at a popular restaurant. The sooner you make that reservation, sooner you know what you want to do, the more likely are you to get that good table at that restaurant.
That's absolutely right. So we've heard some really great information from Kirk today, and he's going to share some PSAs with us that you will see on BCAT. Very, very good information. Anything to wrap up, my friend, before we sign off?
Just as a reminder, when you do want to get more information about Social Security or create the My Social Security account, you want to go to our website. That's at www.socialsecurity, all one word, .gov. Go there and you can find a wealth of information about all of our programs, help you understand what your benefits are going to be, and help you research all of our other programs.
Excellent information. Thanks so much for coming in today. And let's take a look at one of those fun PSAs with George Takei. Very funny and very informational. And thanks for joining us around Kitsap. We'll see you next time.
Patty, I boldly went to socialsecurity.gov, and it's out of this world.
SocialSecurity.gov is a website for everybody.
Even teenagers?
Absolutely. Young people can help their grandparents with retiring online or getting extra help with their Medicare prescription drug costs.
So really, everyone of all ages should go to SocialSecurity.gov.
Boldly go.
Boldly go to SocialSecurity.gov.
If it wasn't so important, would I be wearing pointy ears?